You were listening to ChartingWealth.com for Thursday the 14th of September 2017. We see the S&P 500 up just a little bit for the day, 0.05%. The Qs, that's the NASDAQ 100 up 0.14%. Bonds down 0.39%. Gold down the most, 0.75%, so just at 0.25%. Want to remind you that we have the mindset training. We've already released the first two of the mindset videos. We've got a third one that we will be putting out on the Friday broadcast. We'll also be repeating the other two, so we'll have links for all three of the videos. They are great training videos to really help you. The most important thing anyone will tell you that is in the markets constantly is how important it is to have your mind in the right place to stay motivated. This is primarily, my friends, as you well know, a solo activity. And to keep motivated, to keep charging forward in spite of the occasional, or maybe if you're just beginning, the often setback, but being able to focus and do what you need to do continually for the right reasons. That's what that training is all about. We have three great training videos. None of the three are very long. We're going to actually give you links to all three for the Friday broadcast. That is the daily market review. If you wish to receive them, you have to have signed up for the daily market review. How do you do that? You go to chartingwealth.com, put in your first name, your email address, and boom, you're on the list and you will receive it. Go ahead and do that as you listen. If you miss that, we will repost those for all of our subscribers within 2 weeks. We will keep you posted, but it's imperative you go ahead and sign up. If you're already signed up, don't worry about it. You'll be getting it. Now let's jump into these markets. We see the S&P 500, like we said, up 0.05%. We're going on the third week of up movement. We do see the S&P seems to be heading toward the red signal line. We don't have a crossover going up yet. Is it going to happen? We'll have to wait and see how things continue to progress. We're now 3 days through the 5-day candle. And until that candle is drawn, we will not call it. Right now, it appears to be a green open box candle, a rather large one, much larger than the two prior weeks. Derivative oscillator still negative, and we don't have a crossover yet on the price percent oscillator. As we drill in a little deeper, the 2-day chart, of course, crossed over with that candle ending on the 12th of September. And of course, we're going into the first day of the 2-day candle, the next candle. It is also a green open box candle. And again, for the first day of the 2-day candle, it too, just like the prior candle, is above the Bollinger Band. So we continue to see strong up movement in the S&P 500. As you look at the 4-hour chart, it does appear that we could have a topping off. We do see that price movement over the last 2 days is pretty much topped up at about 250 or so. So we'll continue to watch, see what we see. Will it keep bounding higher? It could. There's still plenty of room on those Bollinger Bands. Even if it stays within the Bollinger Band, it can move higher. So let's just keep watching. Again, don't have a trade at this point because we don't have a trend to follow. We have the 4-hour chart going up, the 2-day chart going up, but we still have a confirmed downtrend in the weekly, so we will continue to watch. If we do have that weekly vertical crossover, we will let you know. And of course, those of you who have subscribed to our text notification service, you will of course be the first to know. How do you get the text notification service? Well, if you subscribe to chartingwealth.com, the instructions are right there. You simply text to the number 33222 the word charting wealth. That's how easy it is. We're going to keep moving. The Qs, it's the NASDAQ 100 up 0.14%. And again, we see as we look closely, we're still pretty much running parallel on the price percent oscillator, still negative on the derivative oscillator, moving into the third week of up movement. Below the Bollinger Band, while touching right on it, of course, price movements well above the weekly trend line. That crossover occurred going up way back on the week ending the 1st of September. Still don't have confirmation with a crossover on the weekly chart. We'll continue to watch that. What do we see on the 2-day? Of course, that crossed over quite a while back on the 1st of September, second of those big up 2-day candles, then went sideways on the 2-day candle ending on the 6th and then the 8th, and then over the course of the 12th and now the 13th, the first day of this latest 2-day candle, up moves. And again, we're not moved higher than we did back on that 2-day candle ending on the 12th at about 146.50 or so. If we look at the 4-hour chart, what do we see? Of course, we can see that topping out starting in the morning on the 12th and moving through the 13th. So we'll continue to just keep an eye on things. In fact, we got just about that high back at the top at 144.80. No, I'm sorry, 146.12 in the, the morning of the 11th of September on Monday. So again, sliding sideways over the last few days, tending up though. So we'll continue to watch and just see what we see. Don't have a call yet on the Qs either. So again, continue to pay attention. So what do we see going as we move now to what are typically the two ETFs that we follow that are inversely related or should be to stocks, that is bonds and then gold. We see the 20-year bond fund consequently as the market in stocks has gone up, the bonds have gone down. In fact, on the weekly chart, trending down at this point, hasn't crossed over, going down. Derivative oscillator still positive, but losing upward momentum. And of course, quite a drop off. We've now crossed through on the weekly chart, the weekly trend line, and crossed through at the beginning of the week on the 2-day trend line. As we go from the weekly to the 2-day, what do we see? Of course, the penetration of the weekly as far as the latest first day of the latest 2-day candle, and the penetration of the 2-day chart on that candle ending, the 2-day candle ending on the 12th of September. So again, strong downward movement. We already cautioned you to be pulling the plug on that wonderful run-up that we had. You sure didn't want to lose all that you had. We saw that crossover going down on the 4-hour chart that should have at least caused you to pull that plug, if nothing else, back on the 11th of September after that down morning, and it's just proceeded down since then. Again, no trade at this point on TLT. We'll keep you posted when that occurs again, and we have a possible practice trade. Lastly, we will look at gold. It was down the most for the day, 0.75%. Of course, after that beautiful run-up we had for many weeks in gold, we see that gold now is forming a red open box candle, and gold's nice strong up movement has been tempered. Still, the derivative oscillator is highly positive, and the MACD, or the price percent oscillator, very closely related to the MACD, is continuing to move up, but weakening. Now, if we look at the 2-day chart, what do we see? Well, we see that weakening being very evident in that chart as it peels over and heads down toward the red signal line. We're going into our second 2-day candle. Again, it's just the first day of that candle on the 13th. It will be drawn completely at the end of the day on Thursday, the 14th of September, after we had 5 beautiful up candles, just nice, clear, clean up movement on gold on the 2-day chart that has since moved off. Still haven't penetrated the weekly chart, but we've blown through that 2-day chart. Warning bells going off big time. What do we see on the 4-hour chart? Of course, that is our main chart. It has, and again, for gold, it is different. We find over and over again that 4-hour chart in gold works time and time again. It tends to, when it crosses in one direction or the other, it's typically going that way. But particularly when you have the 2-day chart and the weekly chart going in the same direction, and that 4-hour chart decides to pursue it, by all means, that gives you triple confirmation for jumping in. So what do we see? Well, of course, rotated over going down back in the morning on Monday. the 11th of September and has continued to trundle down since then. So no trade in gold at this point, but those of you who are using that 4-hour chart to trade, I sure hope you went and jumped in the afternoon at the opening, somewhere around 127. You've already seen it move as low as 125.55. So that is where we are as we end the day on Wednesday the 13th, go into Thursday the 14th of September. We so appreciate you being with us. We love to hear from you. If you have questions, problems, concerns, write us at cw@chartingwealth.com. And also, if you're not already signed up to receive our daily market review, what you're waiting for. Lots of great things to offer. All the best from the whole team here at chartingwealth.com.